Ultimate goal of slow money is to figure out where best to fit into this system, because the whole movement is not itself captured by slow money. Like, there are countless community development financial institutions, there's government agencies, there are progressive nonprofit financial institutions, there's all sorts of people. There's Kiva, Kickstarter, ProFounder, there's all sorts of people building new financial vehicles and tools. Slow Money's ultimate goal is to inspire as much of that activity as possible, to catalyze investment itself wherever possible, like through the Entrepreneur Showcase. The Soil Trust, you rightly pointed out, is not an investment vehicle. It's a philanthropic tool that then catalyzes investment. That seems to be the greatest place where we could have the most impact in the coming years. But at the same time, we're working with organizations like Mission Markets, Portfolio 21, RSF Social Finance, to actually figure out how to build for-profit investment opportunities as well. Because I'm limited in time, I can't talk about slow municipal bonds. That's an initiative we're working on. Local stock exchanges, we're working on that. Helping to re-inspire people with the idea of direct public offerings, or Regulation A and Regulation D private security placements. So Slow Money's job is to help foment all of that. Exactly the business we'll be into, in terms of, like, is that financial product ours, or are we just helping to spread the word about another organization? That's yet to be seen. But it really is about solving it on both sides of the aisle. Well, interestingly, my restaurant is one of the best examples. Well, we were raising money for our restaurant and the entire economy tanked, and we needed $2.5 million. We said, wow, there's no way we're going to get this from high net worth accredited investors. So we said, we need to change our model. We need to go to hundreds of people in our community and see that if we can get money to move differently. And of course, our attorney said, no, you can't do that. Truth is, you can do that. And short of having time to give the details, there are over 100 investors that own my restaurant. Combination of accredited and unaccredited investors that came together, ranging from $5,000 investments to $400,000. So that was one really amazing example of it in action. And then the other thing I would say is I would point to the $4.5 million that has changed hands, and then look at all those businesses and the ripple effect that they've had on their communities of inspiring more businesses. Like, my business is great not because it's a successful restaurant, but because now more farmers produce more organic produce for us, more restaurants go into what was a depressed downtown economy. So there's an incredible ripple effect when any slow money style enterprise gets funded. I'm glad you brought that up, because I forgot to mention that that's another major thing that we're doing, is really trying to help provide the legal support for people around the country who want to do that. And the new investment club models allow for both accredited and unaccredited participation, and it really is an amazing way. What it brings up that I didn't speak highly enough to is the fact that at the core, what slow money is about is not transactions, but relationships. And the relationships that are born through this style of investing is what makes them so much more powerful and impactful, when there's a human being on the other end of that transaction that you now get to know and to see and to work with. And the investment club is a great model of that. Yeah, Maine, it's called No Small Potatoes, is one of them, and it's amazing what they've done. There's another thing called LION, the Local Investment Opportunities Network. That's an investment club model that was started out of the Pacific Northwest, and that's also been very effective and successful as well. Thanks for bringing that up. It's the core question, it's the key question that always comes up. So I would do two things. One, I'd clarify. In the way the question was asked, what are the kinds of returns that we're giving back for these kinds of investments? We're not yet taking on any investment capital and making our own investments as an organization, so therefore we're not providing any returns. Just a point of clarification. But the question that he's really asking is, well, what kinds of returns are investors who are aligned with these kind of values looking for? And the jury's a little bit out, because it's a new emerging asset class. Like any new emerging economic sector, how is it going to perform? What we do know is this: when you look at historical returns of the actual stock market over the last 100 years, they average around 2 to 3%. There's a few moments of boom here and there where you see them offer, exponential VC-style returns, but over time, those returns have not been quite as incredible as we've been sold them to be, and as we've been told that they have been. Secondly, this new style of investor that's inspired by slow money principles is very interested in using additional metrics other than return on investment financially to measure that return, as I sort of mentioned earlier: soil fertility, job creation, building new community institutions, the rebuilding of a local food system, the health and wellness of children, the recreation of healthy watersheds. So a lot of people are really saying, that's how I want to measure my returns, and that's worth 15% of my portfolio. Other folks are saying, I'm willing to take my returns in kind. I'm going to invest in a chicken farmer, and I'll take my returns in eggs and chicken. I'll take it in a CSA box. A community-supported agriculture is like the perfect example of slow money in action. All that said, what do we think? We think that actual financial returns in the coming years as the market emerges will probably be negative, which is why we need things like the soil trust. You know, if we look at the full spectrum of investments that are going to be made to help the market emerge. But over time, we're confident that you're going to start to see whatever a natural biological system can sustain, which is probably going to be a 2 to 3% on an average annual kind of return, and increasing numbers of people saying, I'm not only willing but excited to do that with a portion of my portfolio. And I don't speak for anybody other than myself. That's what I think will happen as we see this evolve. What I can guarantee is no 10x return on investment. Here and there'll be the scalable, new organic food company that actually meets like a VC model. But these are not institutions and enterprises that are being built for exit and liquidity events. These are enterprises that are being built to rebuild community and economic systems.